What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. We did it. We made it. We made it all the way to the end of the week. Let me just change some settings real quick. Get the right screens up on my ends as you guys just pile into the room. Looks like, yeah, that's right. We got Alex. Good morning, Andy. Good morning. Brian is with us. Corey, Eric. We got Eric Prowl, GW in the house. Good morning to Jason P. King. Jay Linder waking up nice and bright and early on a Friday. Good morning, Joe. We got Peter. Good morning. Ray is with us. Good morning. Tanya, Win, Wally in the house. Good morning to everybody in YouTube land. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. We got Richard Jet in YouTube land. Good morning. We got all those lurkers just not saying nothing in YouTube land. Good morning to all of you as well. It should be an interesting day. Let me move this chat pane because for some reason it's real tough to see. Win says, good morning, RLT family. Alex, happy Friday, everyone. Jay, good morning, everyone. Eric says, morning, all. Wally says, good morning. Stephen King's in the house. Good morning, Stephen King. Sounds like you hung out with Maloney last night. I don't even know what that means. Okay. You got Joe in the morning. Win. Just throwing curveballs early in the morning. You got to wait at least till 9:30 for curveballs. All right. Let's take a look at what is happening with the market. Let's see if we can get. I'm on a different microphone. I don't know if that makes sense, but I don't know what I sound like. Wally says, Wale? Oh, Wale. Okay. How did I not get that? Wale. Did I say that? Wale? I know I'm close. Good morning to you. All right, let's take a look real quick at the SPY. Let's see the daily chart. And make sure we got the right. All right. You know what? I'm gonna throw this onto on a different screen as well, so it's a little tougher to see, but I think I should be all right. All right, so it looks like we do have the SPY was a little bit of a gap down this morning. It looks like we did rally back a little bit, kind of opening flat. Definitely a good support resistance zone on the actual SPY itself. So we do have somewhere right around this, I don't know, I'll call it 411.93-ish, 411.94. That should be support resistance. Probably a little bit of a chop out of the gate on the SPY. So I don't know if we really had any real news. Earnings were, I mean, there was earnings, but nothing really crazy in terms of bigger, massive companies to go off of. So nothing really, I don't think there's really too many catalysts today at open. He says, I got it. Okay. Joe says, thanks, Steven. Forgot to change that. Good morning, all. All right. So let me see Qs. Yeah, so not a lot. Let me see if we get targets. But if we run bullish, which right now pre-market we're up a little bit. Again, we kind of rallied back so far this morning. If we could get a decent pop, which I would like to see some candles close above this. It's about the zone we were looking at yesterday, 412.10. So if we get up to like 412.10-ish, that would be the zone that I want to see a couple candles hold. And then I can make a case that we might have a good, decent run into probably about 413.29-ish. That's roughly where we're running into yesterday. So we'll see if we could kind of match that. But that would be the range. To the downside, if we cannot hold this at open. The good news for any bulls is we do have the 10 EMA sneaking in. That should prop us up a little bit, especially with not really a lot of news out there in the market. So I think buy the dip might be the case for the SPY. Let's take a look real quick at the Qs. QQQ. Probably also rearrange this one as well. Jennifer says, can we look at Airbnb? Absolutely. All right, so we have the Qs. Again, we covered this in it wasn't the afternoon room, but the room, I guess, before in All Access Pass yesterday. But this has been, it was 15 days as of yesterday, just in this range. I mean, that's talk about going nowhere fast. We do still have that double top, but we're just chopping. A lot of this, I mean, buy as low as possible, sell as high as possible. As long as we stay in that range, you'd be getting paid over and over and over again. So I don't really see a reason to break that trend yet. Where should we buy though would be the question. And I would say we have to hold. We're a little bit weaker on the Q still, but we have to hold this. What is that? 313.47 zone? No, 314. Oh wow, I can't even read the numbers. 315.60. We'll go 315.60. So as long as we hold this VPOC area somewhere around here, 315.60, 64. That would be the spot to attempt to buy with probably the best risk to reward. If that starts to break down, there's not a lot of real support coming in this thing until about 311.50, somewhere in that zone. So could be an interesting move if we could get this breakdown. I don't really see any. I don't see any catalyst yet. The only thing is, if anybody saw the Traders Post yesterday email from Yates, if you guys are signed up with Traders Post, Yates did list out a few of the big companies coming out next week. So maybe in anticipation of, well, Tesla didn't do so good. Netflix really didn't do so great, although they did rally the next day. Tesla will be one to watch today as well, for probably any after day, second day follow through, or maybe we can rebound a little bit. We'll have to see on that one. Airbnb for Jennifer. Nice little gap down. I wouldn't really worry too much about the candle yesterday. It was kind of inside high wave candle. So I'd really go off of this, which is still a really, really strong gap and go. And then that would take us down to, we might have a little bit level of support coming in. That's actually an island reversal. That's a really, if this does not close today, and if we do not retest this gap, that would be a very, very bearish signal. And you might want to look for some kind of longer term swing short trade potentially on Airbnb. We'll have to see what this does. But that being said, it's very rare to see the island reversals. But that was definitely one. So that would take us to probably about 115.29. I would be looking for some type of support on this thing. 114.84. See if we can get anywhere back up there. But this gap is pretty horrendous. See if there was news on this thing. Airbnb says CEO Brian Chesky, 2022 total compensation was okay. So someone made money. Okay. Securities adjust price target. Oh, so maybe they got a downgrade. Security price target from Airbnb to 130 then they got an upgrade. Not quite sure. That was April 20th. They got an upgrade. Then they got a 3 undervalued stocks. So the only thing that I really see 2 hours ago, Airbnb CEO got a compensation that was $311K. Okay. I don't know. The news doesn't make any sense. The news, yeah, that's a good base salary. I'd sign up. All right. Airbnb. But yeah, watch that island reversal. That could be a little bit intense. The other thing we could do on this one is throw a fib too. Just again, I'm looking for a bounce spot only because if this thing does not retest and does not close, that island reversal holds. And that would be a little bit interesting. So let's see. We still have a little ways to go. So that would take us to at least 114.88. That would probably be my bounce spot. Might get held up a little bit, probably at that one little VPOC, but look for that 50% retest, 114.88. So if you're going to short it, you could short it into it, probably sell some shares there. Maybe we get to that 618, and that would be your short play if you could. I think if you think this thing gets stopped at the 114.88, probably not a lot of risk reward to the downside. So you'd have to be hoping we could get a little bit further. But the news didn't seem that crazy at all. The base $1 salary. Didn't we have a president in recent history that had a $1 salary? You got paid $1. I don't know. I can't remember. All right, let me see. Good morning. Rock is in the house. SQM. It would help if I did that correctly. SQM. Why is this thing so zoomed out? There we go. That's much better. Decent gap into some support. I would treat this thing like a fade. This would be a absolute fade to me. And how much room do we have on this thing? Yeah, I would fade this one. You have a double bottom, good support, lots of VPOCs down here. That is, it looks like a gap and go, but realistically, that was a retest candle. So all we really did on this is retest. So essentially, you have 1, 2, 3. This is our 4th day of selling. I would fade this one. Where are we at now? 74.50, it looks like. You probably have some room into that retest as well. So I would probably look for a fade. Fade higher. And let me just see some of the levels. Yep, you're also approaching some pocket of liquidity. Bulls are probably going to want to try to save this thing and shop around. Probably target immediate target would be 77.87. That takes us right into that retest gap, but that's that volume spike as well. So, yep, this one looks like 100% opportunity to fade higher. All right, let's see. We got ALB. This is atrocious. This one's got some room to continue to run down, east, down, and bound. East, down, and bound. Is that it? Yeah. Should be a little bit of a retest. This is gonna be a really nice swing trade if we do come up for this retest. Everything looks pretty awful on this thing, but you do have a little bit of a retest. You're not really at. Are you at any type of support? Not really. I don't know how much we retest on this one. Only thing is maybe we could get out. Nah, you're losing all the volume over here too. Nothing too impressive here. I would love to see one interesting green candle, and then let's add this one to the list. I'm gonna throw this one essentially high up there. I'm gonna look to short this thing. I don't know where to short it. That's my only issue. That would give me like decent risk reward. But yeah. If I can get like a good green candle out of the gates, something that gives me opportunity to short underneath it, that would be my play. Not sure how the volume is on this thing. I don't think I've day traded this thing before, so we could get in it. We'll check the bid ask, see if this thing is spready. If there's any type of like volume issues with it, but yeah, not a great gap. It is technically a retest gap, so let's not short the first candle, and we'll go from there. See if this thing wants to run or not. Kind of like it. All right. Win says AI 50 cents of 90-day support. AI. Jennifer in YouTube land says, thanks, was wondering if Airbnb would fade up. Yeah, I don't know, but we do have a little bit of support there. And I would be expecting bulls really do not want that island reversal. So I would take a shot at the fade, but it could kind of just chop around, hang out today. All right, we've got AI and we got 14 more minutes. You're definitely at that spot. This thing's got to hang into. Otherwise, next target on this thing, we get it all the way back down to about $17.85, something in that zone. So, yep. So if this thing wants to maybe come down a little bit further, looks like we are gapping slightly higher by about 20 cents. So still in the lower part of the range from yesterday. This would be a risk to reward play win. Yeah, I would say if this thing, you do have this one little VPOC right about here. Kind of got into that yesterday at the close. And now you're slightly gapping up higher. Probably next immediate target would be back to about 21.74. And I would take yesterday's low as my stop. Maybe slightly under, maybe go like $20.55. Something like that. Chile is nationalizing lithium. APL. All right. Did they get their own national anthem? Oh, lithium. All right. We got Apple. Yeah. I don't know. You guys want a short? I guess. I don't know. Kind of worried to short the strongest bull stock ever made, ever created. You think Warren Buffett's going to start selling shares? I don't think so. You see Warren Buffett, 100 years old, sitting at the computer, day trading back and forth Apple. It's a good gap and go. I would expect this thing to probably continue down. That should add some additional pressure to the market, but we are at one of the VPOCs where this could get some kind of a bounce. It is, like I said, the strongest stock ever created. So, I mean, anytime you go down is a reason to buy Apple. We really have to watch this range right here. And this is a good one. So this is a good support. We got a couple levels, almost three levels to maintain. What is that? 164.45, something like that. If this level breaks, we have some room to the downside for sure. We're almost at the 50% retracement of that last move. And then the 618, again, if you're going to go short on this thing, you have to at least anticipate you're going to get to the 618 for any of this trade to make sense. And that would take us to 161.19. I'm sorry, that's not even 161.19. That's 163.19. The numbers are tough on the screen. But yeah, 163.19 would be your target to the short side if you can make this trade work. And then I would be out. Unless you're doing something longer term, if you do think recession, if you want to try to get puts in, something like that. Do I want to take Apple puts into earnings? Apple, I think, was what, May? Something earnings come out beginning of May. Trying to think of how I want to play this thing. This is May 4th. So we have not next week, but the week after, I think, is May 4th on the Thursday. An interesting opportunity, I think, on Apple into earnings would be if this thing comes back for the retest. I'm just kind of playing this out. I might do this. If this thing comes back for the retest, I'm going to take puts out on Apple because it is high. It's up there. Can Apple go higher? Of course, it is Apple, but this could be maybe a little first crack in the structure. We do have probably full on 5 wave count by at this point. And then buy some puts with some time on it. So maybe about a month, maybe 2 months on it. I'd probably do about a month. I'd probably do a month. I think that would make the play make more sense. And then as we get closer to earnings, even if this thing does start pushing up higher and start moving, it's going to be down, but you're still going to get the value premium pump on those puts into earnings. So if this thing comes in for a retest, we'd be pretty high on this structure, and then I might buy some puts with about a month time. And I would probably not hold, depending on what it is, depending on how this trade goes out, but I would probably sell it the day of, right before closing into earnings. So I don't think I would hold them over earnings, but it would just be a play from now into earnings, and then play the so sell out, clear the board, and then play the aftermath of whichever way this thing wants to gap. That's probably what I would do. Tony says gaps haven't been going lately. It just we haven't really had too many good gaps. I agree with your point. Gaps have not really, gapping goes. Some of them have, but it's very few. Where almost to the point where they feel like they're not working at all. Oddly enough. But it's a lot of gaps into resistance, into support. I was thinking about this yesterday before, as I was kind of getting off the mic, I was like, yeah, pre-market, I'm going through all these gaps that look good. I feel horrible because I'm like, yeah, it's a good gap, but it's gapping into this resistance, gap into the support. I'm like, I feel like I'm a chicken out here. I'm just like, nah, I don't know if I want to, but it's kind of true, honestly. I'm like, and then I'm looking at the stocks later in the day. I'm like, yeah, good thing I didn't kind of play those because they didn't do what they should have done on face value. The supports have been holding very, very well. If we hit some kind of resistance, people are taking profits in this market. Right, you any of those supports or resistance, they're starting to really hold. So, all right, let's see. Franco's in the house. Roku for Franco. Franco's enjoying that beautiful Mexicano weather. We're inside candle for right now. That is one decent looking breakdown, though. I would look for about a 50% of. Where do we want to go with this? I would look for maybe entry point to go short Roku. First stop I would be looking for is probably 50% of yesterday's move. This is not going to be to the penny because I'm off by a little bit, but somewhere in this, what do we got here? This is $60.32. That'd be about a 50% retrace of yesterday. The one that I would like a little bit better is if we actually take it from here, the top of this move. See this one. But something like this would be a good spot to short too. So this would give us, that's right at that high volume area. So yeah, if we get any retraces back to 61.96, this might not, I don't think this happens today. So for day trade purpose, yeah, probably around that $60 and whatever I said, 32 cents. That'd be about half that candle, but this looks like we consolidated forever and some kind of a retest of yesterday's candle and then probably plummets after. It does have a lot of room to go to the downside for a swing trade, which was where this fib would be. If I was able to get in around the 61, whatever, 96, something like that. The only problem with that is you do have earnings coming out, so you can't really hold it too long unless you price that into it. But that's going to be Wednesday of next week, it looks like. So really, really soon on earnings. Day trade wise, probably play half that candle to go short. All right, let's see if I'm missing anything else. Daniel in YouTube land says Amazon. AMZN. Brian in YouTube land says good morning. Good morning. Jason says coin. Scott says affirm and AMD. How much time do I got left? 5 minutes. It's Kramer's lightning round. Yeah, nice gap on. See if this one could pull back a little bit first, but I do like this one bullish. Entry price would be somewhere if we can get some selling. You do have a moving average right above us, so buy as low as humanly possible. Or if this thing jumps up and we start getting pushes into about, what number is this? 107.43. That would be a spot to look to go short. We might not even get to that point. We might get to about 107.20. Somewhere up there could be your fade spot if you do get some bullish momentum out of the gate. Otherwise, if this thing comes down, I have no problem going bullish, but we got to get, I can't go bullish at open on this one. Let me see if I get to coin. Coin looks a little bit like Roku, to be honest. And you are sitting at that probably very close to that 50%. Maybe it has to go a little bit higher. We'll get you that 50%, somewhere around what is that, 60, 62, 18. Somewhere in that zone would be your spot. Probably you get a little bit of resistance, and that would be your short opportunity. Coinbase probably ends up going down if Bitcoin goes down. Bitcoin was up because you had some banking issues. I don't think all the banking fears off the table. It could definitely come back. We do have FRC reporting on Monday, maybe a couple other banks that might be in the lineup. Not quite sure, but I do know FRC is Monday. So if banks still show some issues, crypto will make its next run. Otherwise, I was calling out 30K. We hit 30K on Bitcoin and probably are going to give a little bit back, and that's going to give some additional pressure to Coinbase. And I kind of like it to the short side of things right now. Affirm. Slight gap up inside day. You got a lot of pressure ahead of you, a lot of resistance right in front of you. So again, we're about 50% of this candle. I would probably be looking to probably short, see if we get some kind of a breakdown. But it's still technically in that little upper. This entire thing looks like one wave bullish. Did the market open? Nope, not yet. I just saw a lot of things going crazy. All right, let's look at AMD. AMD. Wow, things are going nuts right now. I don't know what just happened in the market. If news came out or just something happened. Check the news. Something is going crazy. Lots of selling coming in. So pretty much ignored my last 30 minutes because it all just changed. Essentially. All right. Yeah, the AMD is kind of just hanging out. We are at somewhat, we've already started to hit some of those numbers. I have been looking for about 87.57. That would be my target to the short side. And then we got to see what happens from there. If that does not hold, 86.57, something like that, into that zone. But not sure what just happened in the market. It does look like we are going a little bit crazy pre-market. I think the market's going crazy. But yeah, we still have that support to deal with. So I don't quite think everything is off the table. But we will see. All right, everybody out in YouTube land. Nope, missed one more. We got XPO. Try to sneak one in for Joe. I don't even see the little pre-market thing on this one. Oh, I switched it over to the 5. Dang. I would fade this one. I would definitely fade this. It is up a lot. You might get a little bit of a further push into probably 43.23, but yeah, that's definition retest gap. So we will see. We will see on that one, but I think I can't go bullish. It's already moved way too much. Only thing to do is fade it and pick the best location possible. That move was Fear Builder, the market maker coming up the corner. I mean, there was definitely some end of day yesterday. I think that it does have the potential to carry over into today. But everybody in YouTube land, appreciate you guys joining us each and every morning. And I have no idea how to disconnect it right now, to be honest. I don't know where that screen is. Okay. Oh, there it is. All right. You guys got close. You guys were almost able to hang out with me all day. But until next week, we will see you then. Take it easy. Be safe out there in the market, and we'll catch you guys all